Next, we will look into the wall's option bar. In conjunction with using the drawing panel here, we must also make changes in the options bar. When we're drawing a wall, we want to constrain it to certain levels. As we're currently drawing on level 0, our base constraint for our wall will be level 0. We must then specify which level the wall is going to be constrained to. So at the moment we only have level 0 as our base constraint, and level 1 is our next level up. So to get a good view of what I'm about to do, I'm going to open up an elevation view. In the project browser we have our elevations heading. If we click on the expansion button there, we have our east elevation. So if we double click on that, that opens up our east elevation. Here we have our level 0, which we see in our floor plans, and our level 1, again, it's in our floor plans in the project browser. So if we go back to our level 0, I would like to have both of those views open at the same time. So in order to do that, I'm going to type in WT, which stands for window tile, and by doing that it's going to open up both views on the screen. So type in WT. Here on the left hand side we have our floor plan level 0, and on the right hand side we have our east elevation. So making sure that our level 0 is active, by simply clicking on the tile, we'll now go back to the wall tool. I'm going to be using my draw by line from the draw panel, and now getting onto the options bar. So the first option here, it says height. It may say depth on yours, but if I hit the drop down arrow, we can go between the two. So whether we draw by height or by depth simply means that as we're drawing currently on level 0, so there's our level 0, if I have height selected, my base level will be constrained to level 0, so my wall will go above level 0 and connect to level 1. If I change over to depth, my wall will be constrained at level 0 and go below my level 0. So that's the difference between the height and the depth. Next, once we've specified that, we're going to use height. We'll then select the next option, which is where we want to constrain it to. So we're currently on level 0, so our next level is level 1. So if we constrain it to level 1, and draw our wall. There you'll see on the right hand side in our east elevation, our wall's base constraint is level 0 and its top constraint is level 1. When we constrain this wall, if I go to my east elevation and select my level, and if I change the level, the wall, because it's been constrained to that level, it will move with the level. If I select unconnected, I'm then able to specify a height. So if I give this a height of 4000, draw my wall, you'll notice then on the east elevation that there's my wall, base constraint level 0, unconnected with a height of 4000. So if I change my first floor level, because the wall is not constrained to that level, the height doesn't change. So now we just want to have our level 0 open. So if we double tap on the top of the window tile, it'll bring us back into our level 0. For the next option, which is the location line, I'm going to change my detail level to medium. So come down here to the view controls and select medium. So our next option is the location line. If we hit the drop down arrow, you can see we have 6 different options. With the first, which is the wall center line, I'm going to zoom in using my scroll wheel. When I click to start and move my cursor in the direction I want to draw my wall, you'll notice in the center there's a dashed light blue line. That is my location line. And as it's set to wall center line, you'll notice it's at the center point of that wall. It's also represented by the blue grips either side. So if I change it to finish face exterior, when I draw my wall, the dashed blue line is on the outer face of my wall, again represented by the blue grips either side. As well, we have finish face interior. So there's our dashed blue line on the inner face, so it's running along the plasterboard of the wall. Again, blue grips either side. The other options which we have are core centerline, core face exterior, and core face interior. What they're referring to as the core is when we create a wall, we must specify what the core of that wall is. The core is generally the structural part of your component. So the blockwork here would be the core of our wall. To show you how that's represented, I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to Edit Type and edit the structure and show preview. Don't worry about what I've just done. We'll go into a lot more detail about this in a later video. But for now, I'm just going to show you this as a small preview so you have a better understanding about what a core boundary is. So here is a section view of the wall which has been created. There's our brickwork, which is represented here. Next is the insulation. There's our concrete block and our plasterboard finish. And you'll notice on the either side of our concrete block, we have our core boundaries. So this here is our exterior core boundary, this blue line here. And here's our internal core boundary, which is this blue line here. So the purpose of creating the core boundaries, which is when we have two intersecting walls, you'll notice that the blockwork joins together, ignoring the brickwork. So the blockwork will cut right through the brick as well as the insulation. So all components have been created in this manner. So when we go to draw a wall and we change our location line to the core center line, when I place my wall, you'll notice that the dashed blue line is in the center point of that blockwork. So it's in between those two core points. And we have core face exterior again. When I draw the wall, you notice my location line is on the external face of the blockwork. And we have the internal face of the blockwork. Our next option is chain. When we draw by line, having the chain feature turned on. When we click our start point and then our finish point, we'll automatically start a new line segment. So this is known as a chain. If I turn chain off, when I draw a line segment, that is a singular line segment and it will not continue as a chain. Next option is the offset. I'm going to change my location line to finish face interior. So when I draw my wall, that dashed blue line is on the face of the plasterboard. When I attach an offset, so I'll change my offset to 1000. Then when I draw my wall, you'll notice that there's my dashed blue line, which would be on the face of the plasterboard. And my wall is now offset up by 1000. If the wall is in the incorrect location and you wanted to flip it to the other side of the location line, press the space bar to flip the wall to the other side of the location line. Next is the radius. So when it's turned on, we have a radius specified. When we draw two intersecting walls, it will generate a radius between those two intersecting walls. And lastly is join status. So when we draw two intersecting walls. They'll automatically join and the core boundaries will meet. If we have join status on disallow, when we do the same, the walls do not join, so the core boundaries do not meet. If you wanted the walls to join, simply select the wall and you'll notice this symbol here. That symbol is your join symbol. So once you click on that, the walls will then join together.